Hello, America. I'm Erick Erickson. These are the four things you need to know this afternoon, October 24th, before you start your weekend. Up first, inflation is up 3%. That's lower than was estimated, but it's still higher than what economists expected. Now, here's the problem when inflation goes up, remember, even though it's up 3% instead of 8%, that doesn't mean it's fallen. It's still rising. So costs are still going up. And employers have been slow now to raise wages because of the tariffs. Now, if you're a longtime listener of my program, you'll know that the tariffs, although they're considered inflation, they're not really. It's a one-time price bump. But the problem is because of the tariffs, wages are not actually rising right now. And what most economists had expected, minus the tariffs, is that wages would rise to keep up with inflation. This is a new curveball for the Federal Reserve that they're going to have to try to figure out as they deal with inflation. Up next, the president is sending the USS Gerald Ford to the Caribbean. The Gerald Ford is an aircraft carrier group. It's an aircraft carrier with a group of ships that's going from the Middle Eastern theater of the Mediterranean over to the Caribbean. This will be the first time we haven't had an aircraft carrier in the Mediterranean part of the Middle Eastern theater. It's actually kind of notable that this is happening. So that'll move the Ford, which is the most advanced aircraft carrier, to the Caribbean, along with a submarine it's already got about 10,000 troops in the area, in addition to having flown a B-1B bomber over Venezuelan airspace the other day, or just outside of Venezuelan airspace. This is a real escalation of force designed to put pressure on Nicolas Maduro and the internal forces of Venezuela to get rid of Nicolas Maduro. It suggests the president intends, along with CIA authorizations, to move forces into Venezuela to topple the government. But remember, the president's surrounded by a lot of people who think that regime change is something that the United States should stop doing. So it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out over the next few weeks. Third, the president is reportedly intending to use private donations to pay the American military. Allegedly, an ally of the president who remains anonymous is going to transmit $130 million to the Pentagon in order to pay the salaries of troops who are in harm's way right now. The Democrats, due to the government shutdown, have consistently killed a measure that would pay those people who are working in the government considered essential personnel. The Democrats are trying to build pressure for the president to reopen the government, but the president, by redirecting this money, is going to get the troops paid. Now, the Democrats can block this. They actually could go to court and say this is unjust, inappropriate, can't be done, unconstitutional. It's a bad look for the Democrats, though, to keep the government shut down and block payment of troops in harm's way, many of whom are in active duty combat situations right now around the world. They want to get paid. The Democrats blocking them wouldn't look good to pretty much anybody. The president calling their bluff. Lastly, it's 24 days this government shutdown has lasted now. Because it started October 1st, it's easy to know today's October 24th, so it's 24 days shut down. The Democrats show no signs of reopening it, although I'm told behind the scenes, by the time November 1st gets around, when the SNAP payments get shut off, when the Democrats have realized that healthcare rates are going to go up, they may try to pivot, blame the Republicans, reopen the government, and cut a deal. We'll see. November 1st appears to be the earliest date by which the Democrats now want to reopen the government. We'll see if that actually happens. But it is 24 days. Neither side is winning at this point. Republicans are getting blamed by Democrats. Democrats are getting blamed by Republicans. Independents blame everyone. They just want the government reopened. But I would point out to every single one of you listening to me right now, by and large, I bet you haven't noticed the government's been closed down. Social Security checks go out. The airports are open, even if there are delays. Your trash is getting picked up because that's a local government situation. And life goes on. Maybe we could do without such a big government. I'm Erick Erickson. These are the four things you need to know this afternoon before you get home from work and start your weekend. And remember, going to church on Sunday is a Saturday decision, and I hope you might choose to go. Find a church in your area. Check it out this weekend. You guys have a great weekend. I'll talk to you on Monday.